talk in those celebrations as we try and make sense of where the party is as they forge their way forward to the 2027 general elections. Also this morning, we look at what is in the offing for parties as the party by-elections are bound to take place in the course of next week, isn't it? Yeah, it is next week, 27th. So by the time we're back, then we'll be knowing exactly how the various parties have performed in their by-elections that are slated for the 27th of November 2025. And the hashtag is the Morning Drift. You can also get involved and look up TV across all your social media platforms. My name has started December. Elijah Charles Kiage. Now the question this morning is going to be about what the likes of Winnie Odinga have said about the affairs of the ODM party. Winnie Odinga has, in what majority of us view as a vote of no confidence, cast doubts on the ability of the interim party leader, Oburu Odinga, to lead the party in the broad-based government conversations. In fact, she has alluded to the fact that the only person who would have steered the party in the broad-based government conversations would have been one Raila Amolo Odinga, who unfortunately is not alive today. She has therefore called for a national delegates conference that is going to see to the choosing of new party leaders that will steer the party into proper a future, especially in the confines of the 2027 general elections. In fact, it's not just her who's speaking. The deputy party leader for ODM, Wanamisi, has also been speaking. In fact, he said is surprised of the positions, by the way, that have been held by some of the CSs, saying that, well, they were not even parts of the conversations that Raila Amolo Odinga was having. He came back and found that majority of them had negotiated for those positions in the current Kenya Kwanza government. Is it possible that what we're seeing in ODM party are divisions? Is it possible? Or this is a party trying to chart its way into 2027? That's the question that we're putting across this morning. So you can talk to us at Look Up TV across all the social media platforms. Once we come back, then I'll be introducing the guests who will be joining us this morning for that conversation. All I do know is that we are ready then to take you up to our dailies this morning so that we can see what they are talking about. And the Daily Nation this morning has a headline on hackers' paradise. Yeah, they're talking about a threat of cyber criminals yesterday met several government websites, including State House, inaccessible and defaced pages by altering their visual appearance and content in yet another major security breach, coming amid repeated warnings by the Auditor General about system weakness. The attack exposes the state laxity at, and puts the data of millions of Kenyans at risk. Yeah, and let's look at some of the corporations then that were hacked. On March 2016, KRA was hacked, and this hack allegedly led to the loss of 4 billion shillings. And there's a man, Alex Mutuku, is charged, as dozens of KRA staff are also suspended during that hack in 2016. Also, March 2022, KPLC was hacked. Attempted hacking of KPLC's prepaid systems leads to delays in token patches. There's also April 2023. KAA was also hacked by a group called Medusa. Breached its systems but failed to steal any sensitive data. July 2023, eCitizen Public Hospitals portal was also hacked. Anonymous Sudan claims responsibility for the disrupted denial of service attack on the websites of e-citizen public hospitals and universities. Going all the way to July 2023, again, ministries and departments, a second attack claimed by anonymous Sudan paralyzes websites of several ministries and departments. You can see it's just a long list of state corporations that have been hacked. Now, several attacks later, audit reports are gathering dust on the shelves of many state corner offices. That's what the headline is reading, that nothing has been done all the way from 2016 to 2023 to the latest hack that actually did see State House getting hacked. And we do not know the extent of this hack because we're still waiting for majority of state corporations to also do a report so we can see how deep that hack went. But on page 2, there's a low turnout on the mass hiring of 10,000 police officers. And this is a story here. A low turnout and disappointment galore. Now, this aptly describes the National Police Service and PS recruitment, which took place across the country. I was yesterday. Among the disappointed were university graduates who hoped to be recruited only to be told that the exercise targeted those who scored D+ in KCSE. That's it. That university graduates who turned out for the listing in Kilifi were advised to go back home. We only need recruits who have completed KCSE and attained D+. That's what they were told. Chairperson of the Kilifi Police Recruitment Panel, Mr. Davidson Muga, reported. D+. So there's an E. Yeah. There is a D. There's a D-, and there's a D+. That if you're a graduate and looking for a job, don't go for the NPS recruitment. You're not going to be given that opportunity because you're overqualified. There's something like overqualification in the police recruitment. Is that why there was this low turnout? Because either way, people knew you can't be given that opportunity if you go in for that exercise. And you can see those pictures right there. Of how the exercise normally goes. They test your fitness, and there've been a couple of videos that have been flooding social media. Yeah, if you can't close your two eyes independently, yeah, like me, I can't close the right eye and the left eye independently. I can only do the right eye. You go home. Your height also is one, and we did see a video of a young man who was really mad that he qualified in the rest of the tests, but then when he got to the point where they were measuring his height, he was disqualified. Then he said, how are you disqualifying me? And I've seen short members of the police service were very active in this country. And I said, well, you go fire all of them and then employ MPS officers who match the height that you guys are looking for. It's interesting times, really, when you look at this kind of exercises that are getting conducted by the police force in the country. We've got reading for you some of the sentiments that are coming through. On page 6, there's a story here on why KNUT primary heads oppose elevation of junior school teachers. It's a conversation that we're having yesterday. You want to read that story? It's on page 6. Yeah. There's a story here on how Safaricom wants to partner with Musk's Starlink. Now, Safaricom has made peace with Elon Musk's Starlink after the telco's parent firm, Vodacom, signed a deal with the US billionaire, allowing the Kenyan firm to resell Starlink satellite data and equipment. Talk about trying to find a way to, fight competition. That's it. That's the only way that I see it, because this deal, I don't think it just stops there. By-election, Kindiki versus Gachagua, battle of the deputies in do or die poll contest. You're going to read that story on our page 10 in what is shaping up as the battle of the deputies. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who replaced Mr. Rigathi Gachagua after the latter was impeached last October, has vowed to teach his predecessor a political lesson he will never forget in Mbeere North. Mr. Gachagua, on his part, says he is rooting for the voters to humiliate the government. Page 10, that story has been covered. Good. That's your Daily Nation this morning. The stories have also been covered on our social media platforms, that is Look Up TV, across all of them. So let's cross over then to the Standard this morning, see exactly what they have for us. And this is the big story: police bribe racket. That's the story that has been covered here. I mean, it's not a new story. You can go back 20 years ago. You can go back 50 years ago, and this story will be covered. But I don't even know what to talk about this morning. But this is the hard-hitting audit as laid bare a sprawling web of corruption at the heart of the police service, exposing systems where junior officers are handed daily cash targets and Kenyans are shaken down to meet them. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission report paints a picture of institutionalized extortion from matatus and border borders to bars and city traders, with officers threatened, transferred or framed if they fail to deliver. It details bribery cartels, compromised accident investigations, extortion rings, misuse of firearms, decaying infrastructure, and gaps in a training, revealing a security system weakened from within. And that's true. That story has been covered on page 6 and 7. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. Just step to your next highway, carry your phone, and then you take pictures of police officers collecting a bribe. Or step outside and count how many unroadworthy vehicles you're going to meet today. But all of them are serving on the road. Some of them have no lights, absolutely. Some of them have no flaws, but they're still on the road. Or be involved in an accident and try and see police officers negotiate their way on who becomes the best bidder. I've been involved in an accident, and the guy who was at fault paid police officers, and they couldn't do for me a proper report for me to go get compensation. I mean, that's where we are in this country. Ask business operators outside here. They will tell you there's a daily remittance that you have to make to the police officers. Rest, your business gets closed. And it's not like we don't know it. We do know it. And they're talking about 1,000 shillings per week, protection fee, demand from each vehicle on the road. That's a lot of money. It's a protection fee. That you can do anything, but because your vehicle is protected, you'll be fine because you paid this 1,000 shillings. And there's 200 shillings to 1,000 shillings, bribes demanded per stop for matatus on Ngong Road. Crazy, I'm telling you. But they know. It's not like they do not know, and they do absolutely nothing. What do you think? Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. On that note, then let's take a look at what is trending this morning. There's been a lot. And we're going to start from top trends in the country. There's a video here of Mike Sonko confronting son-in-law of assault on daughter Saumu Mbuvi. These are some of those issues that I do not want to talk about in the morning, but since Kenyans are talking about it, we got to talk about it. Yeah, that was yesterday, and it's been trending all over, asking the son-in-law as to why he's been beating the daughter. But then the revelations in that video, sema nimekulipia school fee, nimekulipia nyumba, nakufanyia shopping, nimekununulia gari, na bado unanichapia mtoto. And the guy is just quiet. But there was also the security guard who assaulted him. All right, let's take a look at that video and come back and talk about it, see exactly what Kenyans are talking about on this one.
Hey, leo nimekuwa na siku mrefu sana, na kuna kitu nimeona si ya kunyamazia. Kuna kitu nimeona pale Nairobi Women's Hospital, si kitu ya kunyamazia. Hii mambo ya gender violence, madem kupigwa, mabibi kupigwa, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters kupigwa, we must talk about it. Ukiona mtu kama mimi napigiwa mtoto, na nimekuwa nikipigiwa mtoto, nikivumilia, nikinyamaza, but mahali imefikia, I have to talk about it. Kwanza nimeanza Nairobi Women's Hospital, ile kwa pale Hurlingham. Mimi sikuwa najua hii kitu, na ni kitu ambaye itasaidia Wakenya wengi sana, especially Nairobi kwa vijiji. Kama watoto wa matajiri wanapigwa, watoto na kusomeshea, rent na kulipia, unanipigia mtoto wa nini? Sisi kukupika sasa utasikiaje? Msikilizaji wangu wako na kifua na nguvu kukushinda.
Wewe mtu nini nisimsikize ile mtu mnaambia.
Kuna watoto hapo, wacha.
Order ni moja na order ni ya boss.
Follow my orders. Don't be violent. Bora nipigia mtoto. Na kulipia watoto wako school fees, na kulipia rent, na kulipia chakula, shopping na wafanyia, kila kitu kupigia. Why you beating my daughter? Uko na nguvu kumshinda. Why you beating my daughter? Ni mmoja mmoja kama bibi na bwana. Unampikia nini? Lazima la kwanza uone mfundisha.
That's how it is. Mike Sonko warning him that it's going to be the last time that domestic abuse was going to happen. Told him, next time I hear this, utanijua bwana. That's the father-in-law. But then the revelation is that Mike Sonko, like Donald Bikorir is talking about this morning, if by marrying a rich girl, her parents give you a house, which is what they did, pay rent, give you a car, pay your bills, including the children's fee, then you aren't a husband, but a nanny, but a money, a male household. As a money, you can't raise your hand, let alone shout at the girl as you aren't the husband. That's according to Donald this morning. Let me just read one final Octopizo is saying that as a father of daughters, let's be very clear. Financial dynamics in relationship never justify violence, not shouting, not intimidation, and absolutely not hitting your partner. Abuse is abuse. No matter who earns more, we must stop normalizing narratives that excuse gender-based violence or reduce relationships to financial transactions. Everyone deserves peace, dignity, and protection in every home, every community. That's it. Pretty much that. And there's a George Njorogo saying, before we crucify the guy married to Sonko's daughter, let's be honest, we don't know the full story. Yes, Sonko is rich, connected, and influential, but if he's truly spoon-feeding them, why not help the man get actual work instead of painting him as useless? You know, that's why these conversations, I don't like having them this morning, because every other person now wants to weigh in. For us, we're just telling you what Kenyans are talking about this morning. There's also another video here now of it's what Kenyans are talking about this morning, of a man who started fighting with a police officer, and this man looks like is likely going to rescue his dog from getting chopped by a police chopper that was taken off. Well, the man ran to rescue the dog, the police officer ran to rescue the man, and then after that, fighting ensued. Let's take a look and then come back and talk about it. I mean, it's what Kenyans are talking about this morning, because you know what that guy has done, the man, is assaulted a police officer without knowing. Without knowing, absolutely. A guy has a case to answer. That's assault. And the police officer was running to rescue him, because the guy decided my dog is not gonna die, and went to rescue the dog. The police officer ran after the man, and fighting ensued. Look, he's going for the dog, yeah. And the police officer decided to go for him, but both of them ended up risking their lives by standing just next to the chopper and then started fighting. And you can see exactly what that is. And now probably that man, oh, jamaa labda ameshikwa bana, ameenda ndani, you know. So what Kenya is talking about, Kenya's anger levels are just extremely high and obnoxious. Usituweke hapo pamoja, wewe sema kitu ulikuwa unasema, you know. Let me just read. So a man can't save his best friend, the dog. Yeah. 90% of this is Fantome. He was saying 90% of the officers from Kenya are useless without firearms. When it comes to fist combat, wako zero. Wewe badala usema watu wasipigane, umeanza kusema eti unaweza piga polisi. All right? And then that's exactly what it is. And this story has been trending. The guy was trying to get his dog away from the chopper. The AP thought the guy wanted to approach occupants of the heli for handouts. Words were exchanged, disrespect registered, and the men decided to be men. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, talk to the hand. It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna continue talking about this. Now, the last one now that we're gonna talk about this morning is a video that has got Kenyans talking about heavily, and that is a video that came from the CBD yesterday, just how the Nairobi County officers are enforcing rules within the city. Let's take a look. Now, that's a man. Okay, let me talk about this car. This is a Mercedes-Benz A-Class. It's an E220. From the look of things, this is a W212. Year might be around 2011, definitely 2010, 2011, 2011 onwards. That's a car that would probably cost you around current market value will be around 2.5 million. So it's a very expensive car. But then that's damage of property right there. Because when you spray painting that car, even if the car is parked wrongly, there are two ways about it. You ticket the vehicle, you clamp it, or you tow it. So all of a sudden these guys have started to paint the car, and that guy is asking questions. Ni saa ngapi mpaka ameandika time and date. Ambia remove vehicle. So this guy is gonna come back to his car, which has been spray painted, yeah, and he has to go to a body shop now to get it cleaned. It's interesting. Olecha is saying Kanjo ona mchezo sana, ni ukweli, nimekubali, yeah. Professor was saying, Sakaja Johnson, which is this law that allows your askaris to spray paint vehicles when they park in undesignated places? That's a very good question. Regime Nukta was saying the same brains that poured sewage outside KPLC offices are the ones that are now spray painting cars. Finally, there is Kombeta was saying this is criminal akin to vandalism. Actually, that is vandalism. Finally, then, lastly on this one, Japrado was saying that this is vandalism by Nairobi County government. Clamp the vehicle and let the owner pay fines. All right? Does Sakaja Johnson ever do anything correct? This is unbelievable. And this guy can actually sue. This is damage to his property, vandalism, you know? Yeah, because if that spray can is the permanent paint, right, you gotta go get it washed. And you see how it's spraying? It's actually touching the body. Because you know, when you spray with a can, it doesn't just land here, it lands on the rest of the car. So you gotta figure out how you're gonna get this paint removed from the back end of that car. Ah, man, from a man who loves E-classes, I'm very sad that this is exactly going on. All right, this morning, some of the trends that we're going to talk about, Millie Odhiambo, President Ruto, and the rest of them are actually part of the conversation we're going to have here this morning. So be a part and parcel of that, and look up TV across all your social media platforms. Once we come back, I'll be introducing the gentleman who are going to talk to us about the vote of no confidence against Oburu Odinga. Is he the man to lead the party into the broad-based government conversations? Once we come back right here on The Morning Drift, my name is Simba Elijah Charles Keke. Good morning.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza alikuwa na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, "Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more."
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like...
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
For you to forgive someone who has hurt you?
How easy is it?
What are some tips, a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is,
Men do this a lot. You look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in
Nobody's buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Pindi tu taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki, na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like...
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he's going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
For you to forgive someone who has hurt you?
How easy is it?
What are some tips, a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. You look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in
Nobody's buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
Good morning. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Thank you very much for being a part and parcel of our broadcast this morning. There's just a lot that we have to put into perspective this morning. And this emanates from the ODM at 20 celebrations that we saw in Mombasa. Just a lot of notes. It's a good thing that Thomas is in the studio this morning as well, because these are the same questions that I was asking them last week, and Thomas did put it for us in proper perspective. He said, there are no divisions, there's nothing going on, it's democracy. This morning, we put that to test again. Let me then introduce the gentlemen who are joining us in the studio this morning to help us discuss what is ODM at 20. And the biggest conversation point is what Winnie presented as a vote of no confidence against one Oburu Odinga, questioning whether indeed he has the capacity or ability to lead the party beyond the 2027 broad-based government conversations. Therefore, joining us this morning, indeed, we do have Thomas Ogendo, who's a political analyst. Thomas, how are you doing, sir? Happy to have you around. Also this morning, we are joined by Botish Kimutai, who is a political and leadership expert. How are you doing, sir? Happy to have you around. Let's then jump in. The couple of issues that we have to dissect this morning. First, we dissect what we thought was a bit weird in those celebrations, and then go deeply then and talk about what the leaders presented as dissenting views in those celebrations. Thomas, I want to start with you. And I was told to ask you this question. Imagine this. Donald Trump today hears that the Democrats have an end year celebration to mark what probably would be anniversary for that particular party. Then Donald Trump decides, number one, I'm going to sponsor transport for any other person who wants to go to that celebration for the Democrats. And then later, when the Democrats are going to go for a founders meeting, I will be there. And in fact, Donald Trump would stand and say, I'm not going to apologize to anybody. I will be in that meeting. Then he appears. William Ruto, who's a UDA party member, UDA party chair, heard that you're going for the ODM celebrations in Mombasa. Guess what he did? He sponsored transport for the youth who may have wished to go for those celebrations. And then later on, when you guys were having your dinner party, you know, mambo ya kinyumbani, that's where you talk intimate stuff about the party. He stands up and says he will be there and that he was not going to apologize to any other person for being present in that party. And Thomas, so you want us to sit here this morning and say, yeah, everything is all right within that party. Nobody wants to take the party away from us, that we are in full control. Why did we see what the president did without any other person stopping him and telling him, no, this is our party, you're not part of that party, so please do not meddle? Why didn't you stop him, Thomas?
Thank you so much, Simba, for that question. And I remember last time I said ODM is a democratic party.
That's it.
And that was the foundation that inspired formation of the ODM as a movement. And one thing you cannot also dispute is that William Ruto at some point was one of the founding members of ODM.
But he left the party.
For that matter,
Thomas, he left the
during
party.
that time.
Yes, but he left
I'm
the
coming
party.
to that point.
Yes.
During that time, he also had an opportunity to serve as the deputy party leader of that particular party.
That's it.
So it is true, William Ruto left the ODM party, but also you should not dispute the fact that sometime last year, they came into an agreement with the then party leader, the late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba. Yes. And they agreed to work under broad-based arrangement. So broad-based arrangement, if you look at the Azimio coalition, it is only ODM that agreed to that particular arrangement of the broad-based. The other affiliate parties of Azimio refused. So it means even at this particular time, ODM and the Kenya Kwanza government have been working in collaboration under the broad-based arrangement. So this is not something new. This is just fulfillment of the promises. So as far as ODM is concerned, and you heard them saying that Baba left them in government, and that is why we donated experts as ODM to go and assist the government. So by doing that, you appreciate the fact that already UDA and ODM, or rather Kenya Kwanza and ODM in particular, already had a working agreement. So President Ruto making appearance in the ODM celebration of ODM at 20 should not raise much alarm. The only thing we are concerned with, what is the main intention? And we are happy because the president didn't hit directly at taking the leadership of the ODM party. He only praised ODM for standing strong for revolution for all those number of years, even with also recognizing the fact that we have not had that opportunity to clinch the position of the presidency. But we have remained steadfast, we have remained firm and committed to the cause of justice.
Yes. Thomas, who invited Ruto to that dinner party?
I will say without fear of contradiction, the ODM at 20 celebration was supposed to take place sometime in October.
That's it.
Then after that is when we received now the shocking news of the demise of our party leader.
Yes.
So William Ruto was invited by Baba himself to the activity that was supposed to take place in October.
Yes.
And he did not only invite William Ruto, he invited Kalonzo Musyoka, he invited President Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, he invited William Ruto.
Yes.
He invited Musalia Mudavadi, he invited all these dignitaries.
Yes, but that revelation that William Ruto was invited by Baba was told to you by William Ruto himself, isn't it?
Yes, William Ruto is the one who came out and said. And even remember, even Kalonzo invitation was told to us by Kalonzo himself.
That's it. So Thomas, ideally then, William Ruto invited himself. Because if the person who had invited me is not there, should I seek permission to come to that event? Thomas, he invited himself. So why then would he turn around and say, I'm not going to apologize to anyone? Who was he addressing, Thomas? When he said, I will be there and I'm not going to apologize to anyone.
You see, William Ruto is the party leader of UDA.
That's it.
And UDA also have their own constitution. And under the guidance of their own constitution, they also have their own party structures on how they're supposed to address their issues.
That's it.
Perhaps it was just addressing the party, that is a UDA, that maybe those who are feeling, and you heard the president explaining himself, that I had to at least match my attire, mix orange and yellow, so that my people on the other side should not ask me questions why I wore the color of ODM alone. So that one clearly tells you it was trying to address some few faction of people in the UDA camp, maybe who could have questions. Why now?
Yes.
Yes.
Thomas, I'll come back to you again. I'll be asking you who extended that invitation to the president, and you're running away from that fact. Because, Thomas, if I invited you and I'm out of the picture, Thomas, you can't just wake up in the morning and come to my gate today and say, well, he didn't tell you, but he had invited me. You first have to seek that permission again from the ones who are existing in that homestead. Hon Kim Sai, let me also put this question to you. Do you find it a bit weird that a man who's not a member of a party is now behaving as if he's part and parcel of that party, is donating the money that is to be used by members of the party to go and attend a celebration, and then he unapologetically tells, and Thomas is not told us who was speaking to when he says, I'm not apologizing to anybody, whether you like it or not, I'm a founding member of ODM. But constitutionally, the party constitution states that you have to be a member of a party for you to call yourself a founding member of that party. You either are or you aren't, Kimusai. Was it a bit weird that the ODM was treated to that spectacle and nobody came out to speak about it?
Okay, thank you, my brother. You know what my brother said, sometimes we just say it because of loyalty. But the first thing I want to tell you is that first thing, that celebration at Mombasa, the 28th anniversary was the date of ODM. You should know that one. That was the hand of ODM. Number two, we do have political parties constitution. Every party has its own constitution. That's it. And I want to tell my brother I want to give him a very simple example. Yeah? We had a nominated senator, Gloria Ruoba. She was a nominated senator at UDA. Yes. But she went and welcomed this brother who was from Jubilee, who was Matiangi. And she was expelled from the party because she broke the party constitution. Now, that's Ruoba welcoming his brother from Jubilee. Then, William Ruto himself invited Sabina Jega and Nakina Kanini Keka from the same party, the Jubilee. That's it. To UDA. In fact, even at a point, he wanted to get away with Jubilee. But some faction from Jubilee rejected, and they had some fights. So I wanted to tell my brother what the president did also was wrong. The party, UDA, you cannot be yellow and orange at the same time. It's either you choose one. You be orange or yellow. That's it. And also, he has no apology to anyone because he has captured the ODM. Whom do you expect him to apologize to? In fact, we knew Odinga was very right. That Oburu will not even manage that ODM. And in fact, when they say they want founding members, Oburu was not even part of founding members, but is now the party leader of ODM. So you are the party leader of ODM, but you are not even a founding member. Then the founding members, all of them are not part of ODM as we speak right now. William Ruto is in UDA. Henry Kosgei is not there. Mudavadi is not there. So the founding members are people from other house. This thing is just like having a wife. You've married a wife, but all of a sudden you get divorced. Your wife left you and get married to another man. And when they have children, and in fact your own properties, now because you are dead, the wife will come back and say, this was my man. Now a man with no value. So this wife will only come to you just to distract you or to take that small property you have. But in real sense, she is not your wife. Yes. She is married to another person. So William Ruto, as we speak, is married to UDA. William Ruto had a party called URP. He killed URP and formed Jubilee. After Jubilee, he formed his own party. In fact, he formed UDA and brought in affiliates like Ford Kenya and that of Mudavadi. But now he has killed of Mudavadi. Mudavadi now is a member of UDA, Kenya Kwanza. He's not even a member of Ford or his own party, ANC. So when William Ruto says that I'm the founding member of ODM, which is true, but you are not a UDA member as we speak. You are a founding member. It's like just somebody who said, I invented the world, but you are not owning the world. So William Ruto doesn't own the ODM.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thomas, let's go back again, because there are a couple of issues again that we're going to address as well. In the true picture of ODM party, when you're holding an ODM event, is that party not, is that event not meant for ODM party members? And when you hear that the president is donated 2 million shillings to act as transport for people to go and attend this event, and then later on wait for you to get done with that event, and then when you're having that dinner where you're supposed to discuss about party affairs, the president, I think your mic has fallen. As we wait for his mic to get fixed this morning, Kimtai, let me just put the same question to you. Why would he donate transport money to enable youth in this country to go and attend that event? Was he asked to donate it, and why didn't any other person complain about that donation, Kimtai?
Okay, you know, our president now is in a dilemma. Anything coming his way, he must do it because he wants the support,
yes,
and also he wants to show the ODM that I love you, and he wants to show that I'm much concerned to you. And before this ODM 20th anniversary, yeah, William and the late Baba had an agreement that Baba come help me for 2027.
That's it.
But now it's unfortunate that Baba is not there for him. So what William is trying to do, because I had a man who stood with me, I have to fight hard to have you, the children now, the kids who have remained, you just support me. But also in ODM, they were not fully 100% for William. So now as we speak, we have factions at ODM. We have the factions that they are not in agreement or in support of William Ruto. And we have factions that they are in support of William Ruto. The ones who are in support of William Ruto are the ones in government, as we speak, the ministers and the friends of the ministers. Mm-hmm. But most of the MPs, let me tell you, if today they switch off the cameras and we fought a vote of no confidence, I'm telling you more than 40 or 60 MPs will be against William. But because of coercion and pressure, they are there because of pressure. Mm-hmm. But if personally you can meet and have a conversation with one-on-one member of parliament of ODM, is there because of coercion. That's why you find out now they made a decision of making Oburu to be the party leader so that they will be easy for them to control him. It will be easy for anybody to control Oburu. Oburu cannot run ODM. In fact, even you personally, you know Oburu cannot manage to run ODM. With this politics, Oburu cannot manage to run ODM.
That's it. Thomas, some question that I'm going to put to you. The donations that are coming from William Ruto, are you afraid to speak the true intent of William Ruto? Are you, Thomas, I would like to think that somebody will say, we bwana, nani alikuambia tunataka pesa ya watu kwenda Mombasa, hatukuomba hiyo pesa, why are you giving us that money? Na nani alikuambia tunataka usaidizi? Because this is a ODM party affair. William Ruto is not an ODM member. The party didn't ask for help. Why are you just accepting goodies?
Simba, allow me to first of all start by responding to my brother.
Yes.
Based on the Oburu not being a founding member. Immediately ODM was formed, Oburu vied for member of parliament for Bondo constituency under the ODM. The fact that he was not in the list of the principles of ODM doesn't qualify him from being a founding member.
Yes.
You are a founding member whether you are a principal or an ordinary member. The fact remains at the inception and implementation of formation of the party called ODM, you are there. So Oburu is a founding member of ODM. On the second issue is, yes, it is true that we as ODM, we seem not to be speaking the same language. And this is very, very common, even in our own state. When the head of the family suddenly dies, it takes family some time before they can collect themselves and agree. This is the clear path line that we are going to take. On the second issue that he raised about William Ruto don't owing apology to the UDA.
Yes.
It is not our duty as members of ODM to know what is happening in the UDA after Ruto has attended our function. It is now the responsibility of the UDA to implement their constitution. If William Ruto should be expelled or suspended for attending our event, that is not our duty. It is not our concern. So for us, you are supposed to know boundaries. If a boundary says you are not supposed to kind of defy the constitution of the UDA, then it is your obligation, not our obligation as ODM.
But then what is your obligation also, Thomas?
So
your constitution also
I'm coming to there. I'm coming there.
Yes.
You see, I'll say this. In the implementation, democracy is not an enmity. The fact that we come from different political parties doesn't mean we are enemy with William Ruto. Yes, William Ruto currently, as we speak, is a party leader of UDA, but we can also not dispute the fact that they were the vision bearers behind the formation of the ODM. And the fact that out of goodwill, they have agreed to cooperate with the rest to also share with them the baseline and the foundation.
That's it. But
why the movement was formed.
But then, Thomas, this event that we're talking about in Mombasa was not a broad-based government event. It was ODM at 20 celebrations. ODM, that's it. ODM was written all over it. And in fact, from the get-go, you do expect that this is an ODM event. So ODM members are supposed to meet in Mombasa and celebrate their 20 years of existence. Why are you inviting people who left? Why are you not complaining about it?
William Ruto left, but I will say,
yes,
we are inviting William Ruto not when he's operating in isolation with the ODM, but he has a working agreement under the 10-point agenda with the same party. So meaning this is a friend already, because there's an arrangement, there's a formula or a structure of our engagement with him.
That's it. But this agreement that we're talking about here, Thomas, was it an agreement between the ODM party and the UDA government, or was it an agreement for the 2027 conversation that now we gotta do this if we are going to be peaceful as a country? And you've already told me this morning, just Friday on this show, that agreement was basically to calm things in the country. Was it a coalition agreement? Because then, why are you not calling it for what it is, Thomas, then, and say that this is a coalition agreement? No wonder we have him in our celebrations, because ODM party and the UDA party are in a coalition government. Why can't you call it then, Thomas?
Very honest with you.
Yes.
It's now being sycophant.
That's it.
Whatever happened in the arrangement of the broad-based was just a word, broad-based. But this was a post-election coalition agreement.
Thomas,
in simple terms.
Thomas, are you not going to be the only one who's saying it like this morning?
Because no, I'm not the only one, because at the end of the day,
that word has never come out.
It has never come out.
Any other person
it has
from
never
ODM.
come out.
Yes.
It has never come out.
Yes.
Simply because maybe people are afraid to say it. But even in a layman's language, what you will see between ODM and UDA was a post-election coalition. And that is why what can inspire a president to reshuffle a cabinet and give opposition at least 5 slots?
Yes.
If it is not a coalition agreement. So that is why I'm saying this is a friend we already have a formula of engagement with. So we are not operating with a complete stranger. And you hear even some of the things that came in the ODM celebration. The UNET team reminded the president that we had the 10-point agenda that is supposed to be implemented. And you said very well, President didn't meddle with our activities. He only come to the dinner, which is the final festive, the final celebration. But he allowed us to
sponsored your transport to Mombasa.
Yes, that is true. He sponsored us, but there is also not anywhere that indicated that we send a request for support. We didn't send a formal request for him to support us.
What interest does he have in sponsoring that particular function? To have youth go attend
what I will say,
that public celebration.
What I will say is this. Yes. Any person has interest in numbers politically.
That's it.
And if William Ruto is trying to implement his formula,
yes,
and is doing it in a democratic way, then it should not be obstructed.
That's it. Here's the thing. Kimutai, let's go to the second part of our conversation then this morning. Last week, I was there with Thomas, and it did lay bare that there looks to be no division whatsoever within the ODM party. Absolutely nothing. He said everything that we're hearing from the ODM party, whether they're dissenting views or anything that's coming out of it, that is the democracy within the party, that every other person has the right to come out and air their views and sentiments about what they think about the leadership of that party. So I said, let's sit here then and wait and see whether they'll be speaking with the same voice in Mombasa. This is what happened in Mombasa. Hassan Joho stood up. So was a party leader within ODM. And I do not know who he was threatening. Because the only thing that we could hear Hassan Joho say, musitishwe, musifanywe kukogopeshwa, sitasimama tuko ndani. And I said, who is he speaking to when he's saying musitishwe? All right, Babu Wino stands up and questions the party officials in the ODM. Tells them, so all you guys have been given positions. So don't you think, didn't you ever think that at one point that the young leadership within this party was also equal to a position? He's saying, our time is coming, na mali hakuna babu kuna tabu. So we say, what's really going on? The SG stands up to speak, Kimtai. And even tells Babu Wino, bwana unaniweka kwa shida bwana, nikwambia weke nidhamu na hapa naona ni kama kuna mambo itafanyika. Orengo stands up to speak. And all of a sudden, Orengo is saying, tutasema ukweli, ukweli lazima utasemwa. So you stand up and say, wait, who are you threatening? So this morning, Kimutai, who are the likes of Orengo, are the likes of Hassan Joho, are the likes of Babu Wino? Who is this one guy that they are all addressing within the ODM party? Can we know this morning, Kimutai?
As you come to that point you have just aligned, I want to just tell my brother, filing on a ODM ticket doesn't mean you are a founding member. I was just responding to him. Okay. Filing on an ODM ticket doesn't mean you are an ODM founder. And also, you should know one thing, giving birth to a baby doesn't guarantee you to be a parent, but taking care of that baby makes you be a caring and responsible parent. So you should know that the ones who left the ODM, they were not caring parents. They left ODM to people to care. And the people who care the ODM are the likes of Sifuna, Babu Wino and Orengo, care that baby to 28th anniversary. So to come to your point, you know, in ODM as we speak right now, there are ODM members and they are ODM sycophants. When you find somebody saying that we are not leaving the government, it's very simple. If these people are truly in government, why don't you just leave the ODM and go to the government? The government has, there is party in government. If you feel that you are in government or we are in government, you just move to the government. In fact, Joe is not speaking on behalf of anybody. He's speaking on his behalf because already he's in government. Mm-hmm. He's a minister of government. He's not a minister of ODM.
Yes.
He's using government cars, everything, all powers, even security is in government.
So when he says musitishwe, msiogopeshwe, who is he addressing?
He's trying to tell his people that there is some people who are threatening to move out from the government. And the moment the majority of ODM moves out from this broad-based,
yes,
the likes of Joe will be in stress or will be in a big trouble, because right now they are enjoying this government on behalf of ODM. They are enjoying this laxity in government because of ODM. So if today ODM decides to move out from government, they will be the first casualties.
Yes.
So they are now trying to attack those voices who are contrary to this government. Babu said that I knew that I will not be given space to talk.
Yes.
And also he said, there is some people here who are trying even to command ODM, but they have not even been arrested by a Kanjo. He was trying to tell them that I've fought enough. I've fighted enough for this party. I've been arrested. I have more than 20 cases in court because of ODM. I've been that much focal in this party. But what you're trying to do, you're trying to throw me out. Like I'm not meaningful for now to you. But I want to tell you one thing. This ODM, the likes of Orengo, Babu, Sifuna, those are the real ODM. And if today I want you to have my attention, why should I come to you the way the likes of Akina Joe are trying to impress the government? In fact, in all functions, in fact, even yesterday they were campaigning at here in Nairobi, just saying we are not leaving the government. Who has told them to leave the government? Why are they praising that we are not leaving the government? Who told you to leave the government? Nobody even is pressurizing you to leave the government, but you have that was like, we are not leaving. So you are trying to tell William, the rumors you are hearing is not us, we are not leaving. But let me tell you, in 6 months to come, next year, July, there will be two ODM. The ODM with a broad-based color and the real ODM. And the likes, you cannot tell me somebody like Orengo who wrote the ODM constitution, being like saying we will say the truth. He knows. And William Ruto, the likes of Wanga doesn't know who is William Ruto. That's not a man to joke with. That's a man not to joke with. In fact, if right now, for example, if William Ruto tries to reject Mudavadi, where will Mudavadi run to? First, you have sold your party. You have nowhere to stand. William Ruto, you should know, this is a man who impeached his own deputy. You should know him. This is a man who impeached his own deputy. This is a man who won election against the government, against the ruling government at that time. So when you're saying that we are not leaving the government or this guy is good to us, you should know first, whom are you dealing with? This is not a normal person to deal with. When he comes and he said we are founding members, you should ask him, you founded and left, where did you went? He has now come back, he said, I'm yellow and orange. Tomorrow is maybe, maybe he's the one even who was part of the people who imposed Oburu to be the party leader. Maybe he's the one even who is in this wrangle. In government, let me tell you one thing you should know about the government. A government can sponsor a bill, and at the same time, a government can go to court to reject the same bill they sponsored. That's the government. The government can give you Oburu, and the government will reject Oburu on your behalf. The government can give you peace, and the government will take that peace. Government can create peace and fights at the same time. So the people who are believing in this guy, they should know one thing. Who is him? And what is the agenda in him in ODM?
Yes.
Paying 2 million for you to go to Mombasa is not a friendly because you are the founding member. Can we go back to 2023? If this was to happen way back 2023, was he going to give this amount of money? Was he going even to be part of it? So this is a man you should know. Even today, if I want to marry from your place or I want to marry your sister and we meet with you, I'll give you a lift, I'll feed you, I'll impress you because I have an interest. But the time I'll take your sister and make her my wife, it will be me and her with our own business.
That's it.
And that's the day, if William Ruto wins this ODM, wins to capture it, that's the day you will realize that he was not in a goodwill to have you.
Yes. Yeah. Thomas, so is it not clear then? I know last week when we were here speaking, it was not really clear what the position of the other party members were, because you represented the divergent views as the democracy within the party. But when you listen to James Orengo speak, when you listen to the likes of Babu Wino speak now, when you listen to the likes of the deputy party leader, Hamisi, when they're speaking, can't you see then that there's a division within ODM? That it's clear now that the feeling is that ODM shouldn't represent their ambitions in 2027. They should continue with the current basis into 2032. No wonder the president is very, very close to you. Everything that you're doing is right there. Every step that you're making is right there, Thomas. Can't you say that that's what it is now? That it's quite clear. And then within that party now, there are those who want it and there are those who don't want it. So there's a division, Thomas.
Thank you, Simba. I will say when I was here, Oburu was wearing the umbrella acting party leader.
That's it.
Then all of a sudden, some few cliques of people sit somewhere and decide Oburu is the party leader. If you go to the constitution of ODM, and specifically the clause that speaks about election, the only people who are immune to election in ODM are the Secretary of Parliament Affairs, Secretary of Women Affairs, Secretary of Youth Affairs. But the party leader must be elected by the people through an organized NDC, National Delegates Conference. So the fact that these people made appointment to that particular position gave a clear reason why people must not agree with their decision. So even from where I sit, I say those people acted in their own capacity, not the interest of the party. Mm-hmm. So the divergent opinion, they are just trying to defend the constitution of ODM. Because constitution of ODM clearly states on how a person should be declared a party leader. Not through appointment, not through roadside declaration, but through an organized National Delegates Conference. Mm-hmm. That thing didn't take place. So the likes of Orengo and the rest of the team, they have the right to express their dissatisfaction with that particular decision. And even myself, from where I sit, I will express the same. Because democracy was not allowed to prevail. So that is what we are telling now this section of people.
That's it.
That you did a lot of injustice to the great party called ODM when you allowed the selection process of the party leader. You ought to have subjected us to an election so that we know that Oburu was elected by the majority from the grassroots up to the national office. I will say this, Simba.
Yes.
ODM is one of the gigantic parties in the country, and it is a party that has survived storm. One thing we must also appreciate is ODM has bred leaders. If it's true, Oburu was also the founding member of ODM, then it means from the ODM agenda, it has produced 2 presidents. That is also another reality. President Uhuru Kenyatta, and even Ed Sifuna read his message as a founding party member. Now we have President William Ruto. So we are not talking about just a normal party.
That's it.
We are talking a party that has bred so many great people. What I will say is William Ruto, as the president, is also doing his calculation for 2027. And if we see his future lies in ODM, then as a normal Kenyan, he should be allowed to also pursue his dream. If he kills the elephant, well and good, the anger ends. If the elephant kills him, well and good. The hunger also end.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so
Thomas,
it should be allowed to go on a hunting mission.
That's it. But Thomas, then, you as the elephant, and that's what we're talking about this morning, can't just sit and say, I'm just waiting for the hunter, because you got to make your moves as well. You gotta run away.
What I will say,
in a normal hunting,
what I will say,
yes,
the reason why I've used the perspective elephant,
yes,
this is a two-way. Politics cannot be analyzed on a one-way, only William Ruto winning.
That's it.
What if we embrace him and UDA defies him? We can embrace him, and UDA appoints another party leader, because UDA also has their own constitution. So when I say if he kills the elephant, well and good, the hunger will die. But if the elephant will kill him, also well and good,
yes,
the hunger will also end.
Pretty much. Thomas, I want you to hold your thought right there, because we're going to come back and then see exactly what Winnie Odinga did say about the 2027 broad-based government conversation. Kim Tai, he said it was quite complex. This, where we are, is quite complex. It's not just a normal coalition. And the only man who had the tools to handle it, and the man who was briefed about this collision, was one Raila Amolo Odinga. Then she says, currently as it is, Thomas, the party has to get leaders who are going to come in and steer the party in these broad-based government conversations. Therefore, officially saying, I do not think Oburu Odinga has the tools or what it takes to maneuver us in these 2027 broad-based government conversations. Once we come back, is that what it is? Did she say something that the rest of the party members are afraid to say? That Oburu Odinga cannot lead the ODM party in this broad-based government conversations. Once we come back, still with Kim Tai and Thomas this morning, let's talk about it.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza alikuwa na ria wasi wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like...
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Welcome back to the Morning Drift. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Thank you very much for still being a part and parcel of this conversation. Let's then end this conversation like this. As it stands, gentlemen, Winnie Odinga has spoken. And this is what she said. The coalition, or this agreement, the broad-based agreement, it's not a normal agreement. And we do know how these agreements go by. I mean, it's a publicized event. The Constitution is written down. This is what you gotta do. This is what we're going to do. And this is how our relationship is going to look like. And true to that, it's hard to know the details of this broad-based agreement that was made between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto. It's on a normal one. And so Winnie Odinga stands up and says, there are people within this party, and these are the divisions that Thomas doesn't want to address this morning, that there are people within this party who want to sell this party. Goes on to say, we cannot allow it. We can't as a party allow this party to be sold overnight. Of course, there were allegations of who she was exactly speaking about. Turns around and says, we also know the complexity of this broad-based agreement that was made by Raila Amolo Odinga and President Dr. William Ruto. Then she comes in and says, the only way we can make a proper headway to the 2027 election, Kimtai, is call a national delegates meeting, conference, elect new party members, then these new party members are going to start making new demands for any other person who wants to talk to the party. As it stands, we won't make it. Then there was a public uproar. Can't you see, Kimtai, that Thomas is just not speaking to this fact that Winnie Odinga stood in front of the interim party leader and challenged his leadership and said, we're not feeling it. We need new party leaders within this party. You can actually go right ahead and represent our party demands as we get ready for the 2027 election. So why can't we speak to that? That the party is way divided. There are factions within the party. What does ODM need to do, Kimtai? Go with Winnie Odinga and go into a national delegates conference, elect new party members, and then come back to the negotiating table. Because as it stands, they do not know the kind of agreement that Baba made with Ruto. And they're exposing themselves by pretending that they know what it was.
Okay, you know, when they say, when you see a smoke, you know there is fire. And what Winnie is saying, she's much 100% right. She knows that the ones who imposed Oburu to them, they had an interest.
That's it.
And the first interest is that if you want to kill an antelope, you don't just rush to it. You just go on your steps smoothly, and you have it. And they know the only person they can rule or control is Oburu. Oburu is at his age, and the second thing you should know about Oburu, Oburu is a old youth, and number two, he doesn't understand at all the party politics of ODM. When you see his own daughter being against him, it's not because he doesn't like him. He knows that this man will be ruled. And number two, Winnie knows very well that if we go today to an election, party elections, these people will not elect Oburu. Not because they don't like him, but the way Oburu is leading them is not the way the ODM should be led. You know, Baba was a movement. Whenever he's in the country or not, he was a movement. Baba was an ODM. So we want somebody who can fit the shoe and go to a negotiable table. And this doesn't mean if today ODM stand independent, will not support the Kenya Kwanza government or the broad base. It doesn't mean that way. These people want the firmness and strongness of ODM. Mm-hmm. You know, if right now we kill the ODM and we bring in something like broad-based, you know, there is some people in ODM, they have been promised that they will be they are fit to be deputy president, they are fit to be high ministers, you know. So those people are much interested on their own interest more than the party ODM. And the way these people knows that they are going to kill ODM is that killing ODM doesn't mean like going with the party. Killing ODM is not having members of ODM winning MP seat or governorship in the coast, the eastern, the western. As we speak right now, ODM is fading away in western region. That's the way of killing the party. When you find out the ODM is fading away in western region, there's some parts of Nyanza, the Kisii, Nyamira, the party of ODM is fading away. Rift Valley, it has faded away complete. Nyanza in Mount Kenya, it has faded away complete. So the only place that ODM enjoys the leadership is in Nyanza, Nairobi, and some parts of coast. So these Winnie and some likes of Orengo knows very well that if Oburu continues the way he continues to lead the party, in the next 1 year we will not be having this party. And I want you to say this. We have by-elections as we speak right now.
That's it.
The first litmus test is in CI, in Homa Bay, this one of Kasimpur. And we have Banisa. As we speak right now, we don't have a candidate in Banisa constituency of ODM because of broad-based agreement. That the broad-based have agreed that one UDA to run in Banisa. We go to Matungu here in Western. It was an agreement. As we speak right now, it's a fight between ODM and UDA and DAP. ODM is not there. Mind you, way before the UDA took it, it was an ODM. So you should see from even these by-elections that in whole by-elections of member of parliament, only one constituency is ODM contesting on. Only one. But in these whole by-elections, UDA is in all contest. Don't you see that is a way of killing it? Way of broad-based. We have an agreement on broad-based. So what Win is trying to say is trying to tell these people, let's go back to our own house. We iron out our issues. We bring a strong party leader, or we'll take our grievances to UDA. Or if we want to have a boost cooperation with UDA, we should have a strong person who will stand firm and fight. Because even right now, the 10-point agenda, they are claiming that they had agreed with the ODM, with UDA. They have not even implemented even one. Even the compensation, extrajudicial killing, the abductions. You know, these are things written, but nobody is there to push for it. And the day ODM will be firm, the day ODM will be strong and stand firm, that is the day the government, the William Ruto government, will respect you and bring you in. But now the KK government is trying so much to divide you. And when you divide, it's very easy to rule. And when you divide the factions of the MPs or the ministers to come to your side, and you leave this one, these people will go and form. This is a repeat of Fort Kenya. It was Fort Kenya, then Akina Wamalo went with Fort Kenya Asili. This is the same thing happening. Baba to Jaramogi was owning Fort Kenya, but his own son came in and formed Fort Kenya Asili. And that is the day Fort Kenya died. That's the day we lost, we forgot about the strong party called Fort Kenya. This is the same thing happened in 2007. Kibaki used to Kalonzo as a mole in ODM. Before the elections, Kalonzo moved away with ODM party, with Mansu being the Secretary General, and formed ODM Kenya. If you remember, he formed for ODM Kenya. Now they left the ODM, and when they defeated the ODM, Kibaki made him his own deputy, Vice President Kalonzo, because he managed at least to move with some votes. So then now Baba became strong and managed to hold the ODM. The likes of William Ruto, Ababu Namwamba, and not Najib Balala left. Baba left alone. Baba managed to own ODM, him and James Orengo and Anyang' Nyong'o as the Secretary General of the party at that time. And they managed to hold ODM and made ODM to be the way it is right now. So Winnie is trying to tell these people, if we leave this thing to Oburu,
yes,
the first thing they will do, they will try so much to remove Sifuna and put somebody who is a flower girl. That's the first application they are going to do. They are trying so much to remove Sifuna. And after removing Sifuna, it will be easy to put your own person now to run the party. And when the government will feel that they have the party now, they can do anything. They will bring in their own, they say, let us march, ODM with UDA, I'll give you the deputy president. So yellow and orange, they form a name, the way they call Kenya Kwanza, and then the other one was Azimio. So they will form a coalition party. Then now this party, somebody who will be fine in Kisumu to be a governor, will not use a ODM. He will use something.
That's it.
ODM in
Thomas, I know you're going to respond to him, but then let's look at what even some deputy party leaders within ODM are speaking. Even them, they're not speaking in the same voice. It's astonishing as we sit currently. And even when you talk about the democracy of ODM, the critics like us are saying, but even the party leaders then, the deputy party leaders should be speaking in the same voice. Geoffrey Osotsi was speaking yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? Yesterday, actually. Was in an interview in one of the media stations here, and he made some very bizarre remarks. He said, you see, even these guys were in government, they surprised Baba. That Baba was in the process of, negotiating, and these guys had already run and started looking for these jobs within the government. That's what he said. And he said, this guys in government, for us, we do not understand exactly how they are there. Trying to really quote him from that interview that he had. Then come back to what the guys in government are saying. Well, some of them are quite silent. But the ones who are vocal, you can see the likes of Joho, they're even saying, well, atutatishwe, msitishwe, msiogopeshwe, mstumiwe kama kafara. Good, you leave that to the side. When Odinga comes and says, well, we need to hold party elections. Even within the party, some members of the party bash Winnie Odinga for trying to go to that direction. Millie Odhiambo has been fighting some party members who've spoken against the assertion by Winnie Odinga that the party needs to get into an election. Thomas, sincerely speaking, when you look at it, Babu Wino is complaining, speaking vehemently about it. Winnie Odinga is saying we need to pull this direction. Even as we start today, I was listening to Oburu Odinga, also speaking to James Orengo. He's like, which truth do you want to tell the people of Kenya? I'm not lying. Which is this truth that is really making you so painful this morning? What is this push and pull within the party, Thomas?
Thank you so much, Simba. And I agreed that the division that we are witnessing in ODM, when we are talking last week, Oburu was holding the position of the acting party leader.
That's it.
So it means there was still probability of doing an election for the position of the party leader position. So until it was confirmed sometime last week that is no longer the acting party leader, but the bona fide party leader. So that is when now the division started, because one, democracy was harassed. Democracy was not allowed to prevail. And some people thought they can decide on behalf of millions and millions of ODM party members.
Yes.
So whatever Winnie was trying to say is, let us allow the constitution of ODM to take stage. And this constitution simply stated that in the filling of the position of the party leader, in the event that seat remains vacant, then the party should organize for national delegates conference so that they elect a party leader, not select. So whatever these people went and sat, whatever these people went and did, they sat somewhere in the boardroom. And that is why Winnie also said the issues of ODM will not be discussed in bedrooms. We need to discuss them in the streets, doing grassroots elections, to the national elections, so that we have party leader who has been endorsed by people. So we agree, this division has been brought by the fact that some people selected Oburu as the party leader for that matter.
Yes.
But I will tell you, Simba, if you look at my friend here, first of all, I will also try to correct him on something. ODM is contesting for two by-elections, that is in Ugunja and Kabondo Kasipul. However, Kabondo Kasipul is a special case because it is so heated, and you'll confess that that is the only by-election that the IBC and NCIC, together with the Inspector General, came out boldly to speak about it, based on whatever is happening. And that is also another special contest. You see, even the Deputy President was there, campaigning for the ODM candidate. So your guess is as good as mine, that maybe there's somebody who is a project of the state against the other person who is the project of the people. So it is a contest between the government and the people. We know at the end of the day, democracy will have to win. Again, I will also tell him that if you go to the by-election in Kariobangi North, ODM as a candidate and UDA as a candidate.
Yes.
So it's not in all by-election where the ODM and the UDA agreed to map or front specific candidates based on whoever had won them earlier. ODM and Kenya Kwanza had a broad-based agreement. And one of the broad-based agreement under the 10-point agenda was on equity and equality. And when the president reshuffled the cabinet, and you saw when he gave Raila slots for the cabinet secretary position, Mbadi is a Bantu, Abasuba. Pia Wandai is a Luo. Joe is a Mswahili. There's a Turkana who got that particular opportunity. So you see the face of Kenya.
Yes.
Unlike the other arrangement that they had with the former deputy president, where the government was domiciled by two communities alone. So we saw under that arrangement, sanity was brought into government. That at least, even though it is not balanced 100%, but all the regions, they are feeling their presence being in government. So that is one benefit that we have seen under that particular arrangement. But now what Winnie is saying, we need to clearly define the interest of this broad-based government. Was it about Raila Amolo Odinga, or was it about the ODM party? Because, I will say this without fear of contradiction, it is Raila who had supporters in Coast, and not Oburu or any other member in ODM. So what happens? Does Oburu have commanding in Coast Province? Does Oburu have commanding in Turkana? Does Oburu have commanding in Northeastern, for example? So we are saying when we allow people to participate in the election of party leader, this election is going to take place in all corners of the country.
Yes.
So it means the person who will be elected during the National Delegates Conference will have the national face. So remember, there are two fights in ODM. One, the Luo community are also looking for their kingpin. the person who can negotiate on their behalf.
That's it.
In the national table.
Yes.
We cannot confuse the Luo kingpin with an ODM party leader.
Yes.
If you look at the divergent opinion from the deputy party leaders, they have categories. We have one in charge of the political affairs of the party.
That's it.
So what was so odd by taking a person who was in charge of the political affairs to be in the acting capacity until the election is conducted during the national delegates meeting? And I said here, without fear, that I am for the opinion of those who are saying we are supposed to operate in ODM with fairness and equity.
That's it. I'll be coming to you on that as well, because there's a question that has been raised here. Cherargei has spoken this week, and Kimutai, this is what he said. And you can see what the faith of the UDA guys is in these conversations for broad-based agreements. He's saying, look here, if ODM thinks that we're going to negotiate on the position of the deputy president or the top seat, so the presidency seat is meant for William Ruto, the deputy president seat is meant for DP Kindiki. That's what we know as a party. They can come, we can talk, but we can give them any other position they may need, and even goes on to say tuapatia hata hiyo baraza la wazee. But any other conversation on the two top seats, no, don't think about it. And every time Cherargei speaks, I usually ask myself, who does he speak for? He's a man who tests waters in this country. He's come up with proposals that have aroused the country in different ways. Remember, he's the man who came here and said, well, we need a 7-year term for the president. And by the way, he's still seated somewhere waiting to be debated. He's now come out also to say, look here, position for deputy president and the president, forget as ODM, talk about the rest. And guess what, Kimutai? The guys who are speaking within ODM, you sort of feel that they're comfortable with the current state of affairs, the status quo, that we have some representation in that government, we are good to go. Oburu Odinga comes and says, we need the DP or nothing. Cherargei responds immediately. Who is he speaking for?
Personally, I've wished so much not to talk about Cherargei,
yes,
because he has been so much controversial. In every situation is there. Number one, he said that Finya way back last week.
That's it.
To the other neighboring countries. That one also shows you that he's trying to kill democracy, freedom of expression. So Cherargei is saying that ODM doesn't stand to have a deputy president seat. It doesn't mean that he's speaking on behalf of somebody, but he has been sent to test waters. What if we say you don't meet to have a deputy president? What will you do? Which voices will you raise?
Yes.
Are you strong to raise voices? It doesn't mean that he is very informed that ODM fits to represent as the deputy president.
That's it.
Number two, I want to tell you,
sorry to cut you short, Kimutai, should have ODM reacted through the party leadership then?
They will not react because they understand him.
Oh, but Oburu Odinga has told us before that it's the DP or nothing.
Sure.
And then a party member within UDA comes in and says, nah, nothing like that.
Okay.
Shouldn't he have reacted?
To you personally,
yes,
who is Cherargei in UDA? Who is Cherargei? He's not even a leader in parliament, in the Senate. Doesn't have any seat. He's not a majority leader. He's not deputy. He's not a whip. Who is Cherargei? Cherargei is a senator from Nandi. Cherargei speaks on his behalf. And I want to tell you, if today you get an information or you get a message from Sudi, those are the circle around the president. There is a day Sudi said that Kashako will enjoy Christmas as a normal person, and it passed. They used Cherargei way back to be a mole in Deputy President Gachagua. In fact, he was the person defending Gachagua.
Yes.
Saying that we will remove Kimani Ichung'wah as the majority leader in the National Assembly. Just to affirm to him that I'm in support of you. I want to tell you something. Come 2027, Deputy President will not come from Mulima. You should know that. First thing now, they're testing waters. How many, everything is all about numbers.
That's it.
How many votes will Kindiki bring to this government? Number two, Kindiki is coerced that you are here because of us. No one elected you, but we made you as the member of parliament. Number two, we have given you a period of 3 years to bring Mount Kenya to us. But as we speak right now, even Kindiki to manage even to bring 1,000 people is very hard. So the interest of now the KK government is that this man will not bring something. The only thing we will do, we want just to test ODM. If they will react about this thing, that we will not give you the deputy president. If they react now, we go to a negotiating table, then we give them. And in fact, the agreement between Baba and William, the 2027, I don't know, but I do believe they had agreed that they will give them a higher position. In fact, Oburu will not come out and say we deserve the higher position.
That's it.
And I want to tell you something. When they were impeaching Gachagua, there were names which were presented to the president. First name was Wanga, governor of Homa Bay, governor of Muranga, with the name Irungu Kangata, Kindiki, and governor of Kirinyaga. Do you remember that before, in this period of impeachment, Kangata went and greeted Baba? You remember? Kangata went and greeted Baba. In this event, when they were swearing in Kindiki as the deputy president, Kirinyaga governor never attended. Why? Because she was expecting to be who will be named.
Yes.
And when they were naming these names, Wanga felt bad, but Baba promised her that William Ruto will give me the cabinet. But 2027, we will see something from ODM.
Yes.
So these people were much ready for the deputy president seat. But now, because Cherargei is testing waters on behalf of maybe himself or UDA, he's now trying to see, is this ODM firm enough to give us a deputy president? And now, mind you, the president is much interested in having Mudavadi as his deputy president. One, because he's a composed man and soft, man with no much interest. Bora ameshiba, anatulia, ananga story mingi. So the president is like, this guy is not bad. But now, because of political leadership, the president is outgoing. So the second term, the only thing the president needs on the second term is just to win. Just to win. And the only way for him to win is that person who will bring votes.
Yes.
So count Mount Kenya outside from the deputy presidency. I can bet on that one. Count Mount Kenya outside. So it will be a fight between the Western and the Nyanza region.
That's it. Gentlemen, we only have 2 minutes to step. We only have 2 minutes to step out. I want to respond to this one, again from James this morning. And this is what James is saying. Well, Thomas looks to be in denial, and he looks disappointed. He looks like a man disappointed by his party leadership. He wants the party to speak in one voice, but they are not. Is it true, Thomas? Today in the morning, you've cut the reality of disappointment. Just 45 seconds.
The reality
yes.
is the events that are happening in my party.
Yes.
I'm not happy with it.
That's it.
Because it was the least expected. And especially where democracy was to be submerged.
Yes.
Whereby we now move from the party constitution to implementing individual interest. So if ODM could have followed the party constitution and Oburu was elected the party leader,
yes,
we could be contented because it is the decision of the majority. But now you cannot force us with the decision of the few.
That's it, pretty much. Kim Tai, I've got one here for you. I agree with Kim Tai. This is Jack this morning. Good morning, sir. I agree with Kim Tai. Ruto is on an ODM onslaught and is not stopping anytime soon. Akondani nyumbani.
What I'll tell you.
Yes, 15 seconds as you respond.
In the statement of Kimutai,
yes,
he has admitted that Ruto needs ODM. And that is why I say it is now a fight between Nyanza and Western to produce the deputy president. So that in itself is an admission that it is Ruto who needs ODM.
That's it.
And has no business killing ODM, because for him to get a deputy president from that particular region must come by a political party.
That's it. Kimusai, do you agree that Ruto is on an onslaught of ODM na Kondani ndani?
Yeah, William Ruto is on onslaught of ODM.
That's it.
But the day he will win it, he will just get away with it.
That's it.
So that's the interest is just, I need you. The day I'll make you pregnant, then I'll tell you who you are.
That's it. Pretty much. Oof. Guess what? Guys, I'll call you back here on the 27th after the by-elections so that we can look at the performance of UDA versus ODM in this conversation. We do also know that Gachagua is also down on the ground, campaigning, wanting to prove a point in the central part of Kenya. I'll call you back again, Kimtai. That's it.
From a county by-election, we're having a senatorial by-election between UDA and independent candidate. We'll discuss that one.
Pretty much. Thomas, be ready for that, man. All right. That's exactly what is on the ground this morning. How it goes, we're just spectators this morning. And we're waiting to see exactly what a man who invites himself to your house is going to do in your house. In fact, even when you invite visitors, he actually talks to your visitors and tells them, don't worry, I'll give you fare to go to that house. And then when he knocks the house, he comes and tells you, don't worry, your father is not here, but he had already invited me. So I'm right here whether you like it or not. Guess what? That's exactly what's happening in the Kenyan politics space as we do more of it. Take them back to the time that they joined us this morning online at Lookup TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kenya Simba. I'll see you tomorrow for another conversation. Good morning and goodbye.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to info@lookuptv.co.ke.
Hey, you asked for the vibes and we brought the vibes. Okay.
Welcome to Gen Z Vibes, where the entertainment never sleeps.
From blockbuster movies to music that bangs.
Experiment, where is he? No matter what comes my way.
From fashion that eats to celeb gossip that shocks.
We are the plug. And if it's trending, you already know we are on it.
It's real, it's